Okay, guys, we are getting started here right now. We're going to be watching Elon Musk on advertisers' trust in the Wildstorm in his mind, Deal Book Summit 2023. This is an hour and 33 minutes long. I'm going to be reacting to the entire thing today because everybody's been talking about cancel Disney. I'm all about cancel Disney. Why? Because of personal beliefs. But it has nothing to do with, like, wokeness. A lot of people are like, oh, woke, get rid of Disney. No! You're going to find out, apparently, that they're trying to blackmail Elon Musk, and you might feel one way or another about Elon Musk. I mean, he wants to get us to Mars. Let's get to Mars. But, let's get started. Let's go ahead and check this out, and I will give you my tidbits as we go along. All right. Deal Book Summit. Let's go. X Innovation Speech. It all connects. 2 weeks of chaos inside Elon Musk. Okay. Immediate layoffs, fire, transforms, management guru, ruthless, yeah. I can already kind of see how they're painting this. Alright, well, let's start this conversation.
Please welcome Andrew Ross Sorkin and his guest, CEO of Tesla, CEO of SpaceX, Chief Engineer and CTO of X, Elon Musk.
Whoa! Dude, the jacket! The jacket! Okay, so I've done TikToks on this, but I forgot he was wearing the fighter jacket, okay? That's nice.
For being with us throughout the day, and I couldn't be more pleased to sit with Elon Musk as our final interview of this remarkable time we've all had together. He doesn't need much of an introduction, but I want to say a couple things. He's the richest person in the world. He may very well be the most consequential individual in the world right now. He runs the most innovative companies in the world, Tesla, SpaceX.
Are those boots? You got the boots on? I love it. Love it.
Starlink, which is part of that, Neuralink, the Boring Company, X, and his X.AI. And he's disrupted each of these lanes. He's moved at breakneck speeds, but he's faced some controversy in the process. He joins us today following a visit, as you all know so well, and we discussed earlier, on Monday to Israel, where he met with the Prime Minister there and the President of Israel. And we're going to talk about everything. And my hope is that we can talk about how he thinks, about his influence, about his power, about all of it. And we're going to talk about innovation and everything else. I want to say just two other things real quick.
Sure.
We met each other for the first time 16 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's been a long time. And
oldest kids were 3.
when we first met, I think you were about to deliver your first Roadster. I don't think you had yet. Larry Page was still waiting to get one.
Like 2007?
2007, 2008. And I remember
Roadster was delivered 2008.
I remember going back to the newsroom and saying, I think I just met the next Steve Jobs. And I'm going to hold to that. But a lot has happened between when I first met you and now. You came to Deal Book.
It's been boring, that's for sure. Wait, actually, technically, I do have a boring company.
2012, you came to Deal Book and sat on this stage, and we're thrilled to have you back. But there's been so much that's happened between now and then, and there's been so much that's happened in the past week and a half. And a lot of folks, and I want to tell you this.
Hell of a year.
A lot of folks called me up and said, you really going to host Elon Musk here? Can you believe what he just said on Twitter? On X. On X.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still calling it Twitter. Now, everybody does. I still do. It's not a mark or a slap against Elon Musk's X. Because I call it X too. It all depends. Like if I'm doing a TikTok, I'm calling it Twitter because otherwise people really don't know. But the younger generation knows it as X. They just still call it Twitter. So, but yeah, just wanted to add that.
No idea what this Twitter thing is you keep talking about.
Should you platform him? That's what they said.
Yeah.
Should you platform him? And I said that I think that it's our role, and I know you have issues with journalists.
I have a platform.
I know you have an issue with journalists. I said it's our...
Yeah, he bought his own platform. He bought Twitter because he was worried about people getting censored. And I also have a problem with people getting censored. However, some of the stuff that they talk about should never be talked about. I don't think people should ever be talking or defending. If you ever defend a person that is to me personally, if you defend somebody that is a child predator, you not only should be deplatformed, but you should also be sent to the same place that child predator goes to, because it's disgusting. And I think most parents would agree with that. Not all parents, because like some parents are child predators themselves, but I think most parents would agree with that.
Our role to have conversations and to inquire and to sometimes even interrogate ideas, and I'm hoping we can do that. So I want to start just so we can begin this conversation and just level set. Take us through everything that happened, if you could.
Everything?
No, over the past week and a half.
How long have you got?
We've got the time.
Okay.
You send out a post or an X or a tweet.
Yeah,
I don't know what
post,
you want to
whatever,
describe it as.
I'm trying to change. Like when things were just 140 characters, it made sense to call them a tweet because it was like a bunch of little birds chirping. But when the point at which you can put like 3-hour videos on, it's like it's a very long tweet.
So here we are.
Post is more descriptive, I think.
And at some point, I don't know where you were, but you write in responding to another tweet.
Yes.
This is the actual truth, and it set off a firestorm of criticism all the way to the White House.
Right.
And then you make this trip to Israel. You have advertisers who've left the platform. People calling.
Well, the trip to Israel is independent of it wasn't some like apology tour. I want to be clear. That was.
Let's talk about that. So just take us back to the moment at which you write that.
Trip to Israel is independent of. It wasn't like in response to that at all.
Well, we'll do Israel in just a moment.
And I have no problem being hated, by the way.
I hear
Hate
you.
away.
By the way, if you go and start doing social media, just like Elon Musk said, you're going to get hated. Like I've got people that hate me, literally tell me every day, KISS, KYS, you know what that means. Take yourself out. I laugh because those people either don't know my platform, saw a video where they disagreed with me completely, or don't know me personally. So they just have a mental illness. And that mental illness is not having everything straight, not having, like all the answers. And they want to attack somebody. They saw you. They hate what you said. They hate you now. Now you might get another chance to clarify that. You might not, but you're going to have a bunch of people that hate you, and you need these haters. These haters need to get in there, and they need to drive up engagement. They need to be like, hey, I'm blocking this guy. Blocked. Hate this guy, used to follow you, don't follow you anymore, and then they'll get people that agree with them, but you're going to get a majority of the people that agree with you. Now, when you get into Elon's position, and you're in social media, and most of social media hates you, but the rest of the world loves you, what's the point, The jacket, though.
Well, but you know what? Let's go straight to that then for a second.
Sure.
Because there is an idea, and you could say that
I think
you
it's a
don't
real
care.
weakness to want to be liked. A real weakness. And I do not have that.
Well, let me ask you this then. There's a difference between saying I don't care if anyone likes me or they hate me.
Yeah.
But given your power and given what you have amassed and the importance you have, I would think you want to be trusted. I would think maybe you don't need to be liked or hated, but trusted matters. If X is going to become a financial platform where people are going to put their money, where the government's going to give you money for rockets, where people are going to get into the cars, they need to ultimately decide that you are. Maybe they don't have to decide that they love you, but that you are ultimately a decent and good human being.
Yes, I mean, I think I am, but I'm certainly not going to do some sort of tap dance to prove to people that I am.
Ooh.
So as for trust, I mean, I think we break that down in a few ways. If you want satellites sent to orbit reliably, SpaceX will do 80% of all mass to orbit this year. China will do 12%. The rest of the world will do 8%. That includes Boeing, Lockheed, and everyone else.
Jeez.
So the track record of the rocket is the best by far of anything. You could hate my guts you could not trust me. It is irrelevant. The rocket track record speaks for itself. With respect to Tesla, we make the best cars.
Ooh.
Whether you hate me, like me, or indifferent, do you want the best car or do you not want the best car? So I will certainly not pander. And Jonathan, like, the only reason I'm here is because you are a friend. Like, what was my speaking fee?
You're not making any. First
Exactly.
of all, I'm Andrew, but
Yeah, sorry.
it's okay. Second of all, we've known each other for a very long time.
Andrew Sorkin. Yes.
And
What? What happened? What happened? Okay, so his name is Andrew, but he called him Johnson. I don't understand. But he didn't charge anything for a speaking fee. He's the richest man in the world. He can charge whatever he wants. That's pretty astounding. Okay.
Listen.
you know,
What I'm trying to illustrate is that sometimes I say the wrong thing.
I think there are a lot of people who are tired. But let me go back. No.
You should hear the sketches that SNL wouldn't post, by the way. Those are really good.
And I would say, unfortunately, or fortunately or unfortunately, whatever friendship we have, not great. We don't talk to each other that much. But let me ask you this. It's true. That's true.
Like, where am I?
Doesn't return
Anyway,
phone calls.
Yeah. The
that
point is,
often.
I'm here because you're a friend, not because I'm being paid or because I need any validation or anything. It's that we've been friends for 16 years, and I promised you I'd be here, and that's why I'm here.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
Not for any other reason.
But let me ask you this then. Let's just go at it. Just tell me what happened. You write this tweet that says that this is the actual truth. People read that tweet.
Yes.
And they say Elon Musk is an anti-Semite, that he is riling up this base. You're hearing it from, as I said, the White House. You're hearing it from Jewish groups all over. I think Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL is here. There's lots of people who say this. And by the way, it's not just that.
Did you read the whole thing?
I did, and that's why I want to ask
And
you
the
about it.
responses?
Excuse me?
I said more.
More responses?
Yeah, I said more than what you just read.
Yes. No, there was absolutely more.
Yes.
But I'll tell you the thing that struck me. It wasn't, and I'm an American Jew. It wasn't just the people who had that view. It was actually people who really are anti-Semites, who said, "Oh my goodness, go Elon! This is fabulous."
Yeah, that's a problem.
And that actually was the thing that really.
By the way, anytime I post something that is one group or another, politically, if I were to say something super, what have you, and I start getting a bunch of like racist people to agree with me, oh yeah, we stay like I don't want racists in my group, or if I say one thing and a bunch of people that are anti-LGBT are like, yeah, we agree with this guy, I don't want those people either. I just want people, normal human beings, that don't hate. They want to come to my page because I give them news. I get here on YouTube. I'm giving them massive reactions. So that's why I do this. But I love everybody, and I want people to know that I love them. Let's keep going.
Really set me back. I said to myself, what's going on here? And I want to know how you felt about that in that moment when you saw all of this happening.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I did clarify almost immediately what I meant. I would say that was, if I could go back and say I should, in retrospect, not have replied to that particular person, and I should have written in greater length as to what I meant. I did subsequently clarify it in replies, but those clarifications were ignored by the media. And essentially, I handed a loaded gun to those who hate me, and arguably to those who are anti-Semitic. And for that, I'm quite sorry. That was not my intention.
Exactly. We're not meaning to take the side of racists or anti-LGBT or people that just want to wipe people out. Okay, I have to clarify sometimes that I want the Palestinian people to not get bombed. Okay, I don't want that to happen. I also want to clarify that I don't want the Jewish people to be eradicated. I have to clarify both sides because the extremist parts of both sides will try to latch onto my my arguments, and I don't. I love Muslim people. I've got Muslim people in my family. I love Jewish people. I've got some Jewish people in my family. But you know, I don't want to stick to any extremist on either side. I want all people to live, and I have a lot of, you know, I practice, I do the Ramadan fasting. I'm not a Muslim, but I do it out of respect for my Muslim family. I guess I really don't do anything that's like for my Jewish family. I don't know, but anyway, let's keep going.
So I did, you know, post on my primary timeline to be absolutely clear that I'm not anti-Semitic. And that I, in fact, if anything, am philo-Semitic. And the trip to Israel was planned before any of that happened. It was neither here nor there. Do you see this thing? Mm-hmm. Do you know what it is?
I do, because I actually followed your entire trip to Israel.
Right.
Why don't you tell everybody?
This says bring them home. The hostages. It was given to me by the parents of one of the hostages. And I said I would wear it as long as there was a hostage still remaining. And I have.
What was that trip like? And obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Is that clear?
This is the viral clip that was posted everywhere yesterday, like everywhere. And then it led to cancel Disney. This is it. And they're talking about Bob Iger because he's about to bring out Bob Iger. But, yeah, so, like, if you're ever being blackmailed, you know, go F yourself. No, you know, but it's not just about that. It's about being controlled. Like, the media wants to control us. Like, we can't say certain things on TikTok. We all know this. And that's actually where I'm recording this for my YouTube. But we could say a lot more on other platforms. We like TikTok. And we have a lot of reach on TikTok that you wouldn't have on other platforms. So we have to, you know, they control what we say and how we say it. So we have to just change what we say and how we say it. But for him, he doesn't want to, you know, feel that kind of conformity. He wants to be able to say what he wants when he wants to. Obviously, he doesn't want to offend anybody. But regardless of what you do, you're going to offend people. So he doesn't want to be controlled. I understand that. I don't want to be controlled. However, to make a paycheck, you got to make a paycheck. So I got it. I understand.
I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
Why?
I understand that, but there's a reality too, right?
Yes. No.
I mean, Linda Yaccarino's right here, and she's got to sell advertising.
Absolutely. So, totally. No. Actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do? It's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
But those advertisers, I imagine, are going to say, we didn't kill the company.
Oh, yeah?
They're going to say...
Tell it to Earth.
They're going to say, Elon, that you killed the company because you said these things and that they were inappropriate things and that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform, right? That's what they're going to say.
And let's see how Earth responds to that.
So, this goes back to
We'll both make our cases,
right?
And we'll see what the outcome is.
What are the economics of that for you? I mean, you have enormous resources, so you can actually keep this company going for a very long time. Would you keep it going for a long time if there was no advertising?
I mean, if the company fails because of an advertiser boycott, it will fail because of an advertiser boycott. And that will be what bankrupted the company, and that's what everybody on Earth will know.
But what do you think then of the... this goes back to the idea of trust, though.
Then it'll be gone. And it'll be gone because of an advertiser boycott.
But you recognize that some of those people are going to say that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform. And I just wonder and ask you and think about that for a second.
Tell it to the judge.
But the judge is going to be...
the judge is the public.
And you think that the public is going to say that Disney is making a mistake?
Yes.
And they're going to boycott Disney?
They already are.
Okay, so yesterday, let's get into this. Yesterday, after this went viral everywhere, people, including myself, canceled Disney. But I canceled for a different reason. I don't like that Disney, and actually I haven't liked it for a while. It kind of gave me a reason to do it for content. But I don't like how Disney is anti-ceasefire. They're anti-ceasefire. I am 100% for the ceasefire in Israel against the people of Palestine. Because I don't know if you guys see this, but I see it every day. 20,000, 25,000. It's just going to be more and more and more children, babies, piled up babies, bombed. And Disney has not stopped supporting that. So they gave me a reason. I got, and actually that added to the content I made yesterday. I was like, yeah, done. And then, I think, of course, I added, well, you can't silence Elon Musk, nonsense. But, yeah, they did. Boycott Disney and boycott Disney Plus was mega raging trending everywhere.
Some that are for lots of different reasons, but you think that this is going to, that you have this goes to actually the interesting of power and leverage.
Let the chips fall where they may. Let the chips fall where they may.
Can I ask why that is the approach? And I ask it because you've been
What's the other approach?
Well, you've been very particular about the approach to Tesla. When you think about the engineering involved in that, the approach to SpaceX, the approach to some of the stuff you're doing with AI has been very specific, right? There's not a let the chips fall where they may approach to those businesses, I don't think.
No, we focus on making the best products. And Tesla's gotten to where it's gotten with no advertising at all.
I understand that.
Tesla currently sells twice as much in terms of electric vehicles as the rest of electric car makers in the United States combined. Tesla has done more to help the environment than all other companies combined. It would be fair to say that, therefore, as a leader of the company, I've done more for the environment than everyone else, any single human on Earth.
How do you feel about that? No,
how do I feel about that?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you personally how you feel about that, because we're talking about power and influence and...
I'm saying what I care about is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Looking good while doing evil. Oh, yeah, that's true. People, they want to pretend like they care. That's true. Okay, when I do like the I Show Speed, Mr. Beast stuff, well, actually, I do look up to these people, but like when I'm crying and stuff, like, that's mostly fake. Because like I have to build up the moment, but there are people out there that want to look like, hey, we're doing a great job, but really they're doing evil stuff. I get that. I get that. It's a lot of that in our own government here in the United States. Tons of that in our own government in the United States.
Let me ask you this, because I think part of this, by the way, there's some people who said, look, owning X to begin with has just created problems, that you've created so many amazing things that are changing our world. And I know you want to make X this fabulous town square free speech platform, but that unto itself that has created such a distraction of all of these things. This is the conversation we're having. We're not focused, or we're not talking at least yet, and we will. On Tesla, you have your Cybertruck deliveries tomorrow and everything else that you're doing. But
yes,
is there any...
it will be the biggest product launch of anything by far on Earth this year.
Is there any part of you that just says, you know what, I just shouldn't have done this, or maybe I should sell it or give it away or do something else with the X piece of it?
Yeah.
Given the propensity for some of the things that you do and say on that platform to create these issues.
Yeah. Of all the posts I've done on the platform, I think there might be 30,000 or something like that.
Right.
Once in a while, I will say something foolish. And I have. And I would certainly put that comment, that you said the actual truth, among perhaps one of the most foolish, if not the most foolish thing I've ever done on the platform. And I did do my best to clarify afterwards that, I certainly do not mean anything anti-Semitic in that. The nature of the criticism was simply that the Jewish people have been persecuted for thousands of years. There is a natural affinity, therefore, for persecuted groups. This has led to the funding of organizations that essentially promote any persecuted group or any group with the perception of persecution. This includes radical Islamic groups. Everyone here has seen the massive demonstrations for Hamas in every major city in the West. That should be jarring. Well, a number of those organizations received funding from prominent people in the Jewish community. Right. They didn't expect that to happen. But if you generically, right, without condition, sort of fund, if you fund persecuted groups, in general, some of those persecuted groups, unfortunately, want your annihilation. And what I meant by that, when I subsequently clarified, is that it's unwise to fund organizations that support groups that want your annihilation. Is this coming across clearly?
Yeah, no, it is. My question to you, though,
I think logically this makes a lot of sense.
Is there any part of you...
I think the majority of the people that were doing those protests, and I might be wrong on this, because like me, I see free Palestine. I do. I see free Palestine because I want those people to be free. I don't want them to be bombed. But I get a lot of hate because I don't stand with Hamas. I don't. I just stand with the people of Palestine, and I don't. From the way that sounds, it doesn't sound like he sees the difference between Hamas and the Palestinian people. I do, but a lot of people don't. So I can understand that. But let's keep going.
Just tell me what happens, though, once all of this happens.
Let's say you fund a group, and that group supports Hamas, who wants you to die. Perhaps you should not fund them.
Right. But you do.
Thank you.
You do appreciate that when you wade into these very delicate waters at these very delicate times.
Yes.
That it can create a real, as it created headlines for the past 2 weeks, and economic impact. I'm just so curious what in your brain when you see all this happening. Are you sitting there going, "Oh my God, I stepped in it. I wish I didn't do that"? Are you saying, "Screw them. I hate these people. Why are they after me"?
But all of that. Yeah, all of that. Look. I'm sorry for that tweet or post. It was foolish of me. of the 30,000, it might be literally the worst and dumbest post that I've ever done. And I try my best to clarify 6 ways to Sunday. But at least I think over time it will be obvious that, in fact, far from being anti-Semitic, I'm in fact philo-Semitic. And all the evidence in my track record would support that.
Let me ask you this, though. There are people who say crazy things on X, as you know. Maybe you think they're crazy, maybe they're not.
The aspiration for X is to be the global town square. Now, if you were to walk down to, let's say, Times Square,
right?
Do you occasionally hear people saying crazy things?
Yes, but they're not. But they don't have the megaphone, right? And that's the conundrum.
No,
right? They can only say it to the 50 or 100 people that are standing there in Times Square.
They don't have a mega. I mean, look, the joke I used to make about old Twitter was it was like giving everyone in the psych ward a megaphone. I'm aware that things can get promoted that are negative beyond the sort of circle of somebody simply screaming crazy things in Times Square, which happens all the time. It's actually pretty rare for something, frankly, that is hateful to be promoted. It's not that it never happens, but it's fairly rare. I mean, I would encourage people to look at, for those that use the system, when you look at the sort of the feed that you receive, how often is it hateful, and over time has it gotten more or less hateful? And I would say that if you look at the X platform today versus a year ago, I think it is actually much better. I mean, what is your personal experience?
Are you surprised?
I'm just curious. You use this?
I use the platform religiously. I will admit to being an addict, and I use the For You, and I will say now the problem is, because I'm a journalist, I go looking for stuff.
Well, that's
I'm just saying. And because I also think the algorithm for me personally, because I'm looking for stuff, also is feeding me other things.
This is actually a challenge in that, like sometimes people will say, like, why is it showing me, posts from this person that I hate? And we're like, well, did you interact a lot with this person that you hate? Well, yes. Well, therefore, it thinks that you want to interact more with this person that you hate. That's like a reasonable.
Let me ask this:
you kind of want to have an argument.
When you tweet,
yeah.
Okay, so did you guys hear that? On X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, if you interact with somebody that you hate, and you're going to keep seeing that person's stuff, okay? Like, even if you don't want to see them. And I wonder if it's like that on TikTok. It's like some people are like, oh, I hate this guy. Why do I keep seeing his stuff? It's because you keep commenting, and not just a little bit. 20, 30 comments. Every one of my videos. That's why you're seeing it. It's because you don't want to see it. But like you want to tell everybody that you don't want to see it and get the clout from it. 1 or 2, 3 likes, something like that. But anyway.
Do you trust the government?
Well, there's a lot of people who don't trust the government.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't trust the government.
Goes back to the trust of you.
Right. Guys, hey, W's in chat if you don't trust the government.